Yeah, man, it's your boy Alfred once again, and welcome to another video. And today's topic is entitled Never Ever Give Up on Yourself. Never give up on yourself. This comes after a sort of motivational or inspirational sort of story of a friend of mine, right? A friend that was in a dark pit, right? He was in a dark pit, had gone some sort of depression, but he had his skill, right? He was a tailor, right? He makes he makes clothes, using a very simple, sewing machine, right? And he had gone through dark days and things were not like happening for him, and he was age 47. So people were like had written him off, like he's not going to go anywhere in life. He's already 47. Things are going wrong for him. No proper job. He's just hustling with this tailor thing. Getting a few, just a few cents here and there. A few thousand shillings here and there. But as you know, you always have to try, but never give up, and never give up on yourself. So a few months later, I heard he got a job. He was hired by the military, right? He got a military position using his skills, right? He's using his skills to actually tailor, right, and make clothing for the military, right? Help them out, in his tailoring, right? So as you can see, man, he never gave up on his life, right? At 47, and the funny thing, why I'm saying this, because usually the military takes people. They do not usually take people under the age of 30. I think 30 is it's the drop-out age. It's the maximum age. I think it's 40. I mean, right? It's 30, right? They usually take people in their 20s, right? That's who they usually take, right? Fresh out of school, fresh graduates, that's who they usually take. But he is 47. Of course, he went through certain processes, and but the whole point is he's now good. He's now living a life that's decent. That's the whole point. He's living a life that's decent. He's not, struggling that much anymore. He's not he's not depressed, as he was before. And his darker days seem to be behind him, because he now has a new hope. He has a new hope. You can even see in his eyes. He's got that glittering eyes. He's much more alive. He's much more alive, and that's because he really never gave up on himself. He tried that position. The thing is, sometimes just you have to try. At 47, like even in a normal job, people who are qualified to get normal jobs with masters and degree and stuff, at 47, still hard for them to get a job. And I'm talking about like a proper job, like whereby you're getting good salary and paid well, you're living well. It's hard for them, right? But here comes this guy, hardly educated. He used his skills, and the military came and swooped him up. They liked his skill. Obviously, they also saw that he was capable, and for daring, also just daring and getting himself out there to try and better himself, right? So he didn't sit there and just say, listen, we all go through these things, man. We all go through this sort of depression situations. We all go through a certain darkness of sort, dark days, right? If you may, dark days, we go through them. We go through all these sort of things that seem like we're in a pit of sort, right? A deep hole. But we have to struggle, and we have to make it out. We have to create a way of getting out, right? We have to make a way, a route out of that way. Whether we crawl, whatever it is that we do, we have to get out of that pit, right? Now, the whole point of that is that at whatever age, wherever you are, you just never have to never give up on yourself. Everyone else can give up on you. Everyone else can like say, no, this guy, your own family, your own friends may say, this guy, no, he's not going anywhere. He ain't doing nothing for himself, right? But even in your darkest day, keep that light alive. Keep that light shining. Keep that, keep that heat on, right? So that it shines. It shines you through the darkness, and then once something happens, something will happen because you've not given up on yourself. Right? The right opportunity will come, and then you can take it and then move with it. So that's the whole point. You just never give up on yourself, and that's the story of my now military friend. Right? He's now a military guy. Albeit is a tailor, but that's a skill that took him there. Right? Skill there, right? Probably there are people who have better skills than he has, right? But they did not get that position. So he went out of the streets. He just had a dingy sort of makeshift a place where it's a very small place where he was sewing clothes, right? He was sewing clothes for people, but now he's doing something better. So this only points to the fact that you can also do that, but you have to put in that work. You have to make sure that you're not giving up on yourself. You have to make sure that, right, no matter what happens, right, that you're not going to give up the hope. So many things that get us to lose hope. Right, each time we get out of bed, right. The more things that are resistance to us, that are resisting our action, right? Our movement, our motion. Too many things are resisting. But the main thing is whatever is here, right? That's the thing that will pull you out. But at the same time, whatever is here, that's the very same thing that will actually put you where you are and get you not to go far. Right, so it's all in your mindset, all right. That's why I say, man, you can always pull yourself out from the dingiest of places, but it takes hard work, dedication, perseverance, and patience, right? You need patience. Sometimes I think a lot of us, we want quick fixes, like I usually say, man. People want quick fixes. People want shortcuts. Shortcuts will be there for the season. Patience is there for the long term. Shortcuts are just there for a season or two. The longest you can get with shortcuts, 2 seasons, right? Meaning, you go through a patch of like you're winning. You think that you're winning when you're taking shortcuts, right? But you're not doing yourself a favor because you're not even teaching yourself how to be patient. You're not teaching yourself how to be able to wait for things that are better. You may have, there's this concept of chess, right, whereby even if you see a good move, check out for a better move, right? You see a good move, check out for a better move, right? If there's a good move that you're seeing, check out a better move, right? So that you situate yourself in a better position. You are better situated, right? Rather, right? But this brings us back to patience, right? You have to be patient. You really have to be patient. But being patient, like I said, the actions that you do, the actions that you're taking, that is the bridge between your journey, your goals, and where you are, right? That's the bridge, right? So you still have to be doing something that actually is pushing you forward, but you're not forcing things or trying to do things that are out of what you're supposed to be doing. So patience is key right there. You have to be patient and not always rely on things that are shortcuts. Learn to be patient. This friend of mine was patient. He was patient because for the longest nothing had happened for him. 47, almost like, I just say 15 good years, man. He had gone through a lot of things, right? Now, one of the things that the reason this I'm also saying that within those 15 years, maybe he was going through problems, trials, and depression, all that. There are lessons to be learned. He didn't try to take shortcuts. He could have taken debts, right? Go and taken loans and go on in debt. He could have decided to be an alcoholic and drink his sorrows away, just be an alcoholic, one of those alcoholics that really cannot do anything for themselves. He could have decided to just be someone who, is a criminal, hustling and trying to dupe people and actually con people. Many people do that, they con people and lie. He could have been a liar, just lying, trying to get things from people. But no, he decided to go through the hardest of times, go through the winter, right? Go through the coldest of winter. Take care of his situation, right? Take care of his whatever that had to be taken care of, whether it's family, himself. Take care of himself. You're also taking care of yourself. You're going through depression. You're going through all those things, but you're also taking care of yourself, so that when you emerge on the other side, at least you have something to show, right? Then at 47, right? Because I could say I've known him for at least 25 years, right? And this whole thing took place, I can't really talk about it, right? But the whole situation took place around probably 15 years ago. And then for a good 15 years, we were always in touch, talking and all that. For a good 15 years, then, this is when I heard that, I think a few months ago is when I heard that he got his job with the military, just helping out, with sewing and stuff. But he's got a proper job because he's now ready to do whatever he's supposed to do in life. He has his goals, right? So this is what I'm saying, that at the end of the day, you never give up on yourself, right? Whatever it happens, whatever it is that is supposed to happen, right, as long as you're moving towards it and you don't sway. One other thing before I sign out, man, don't sway from your path. Like I just mentioned, man, going the criminal way, going to be a con man, being an alcoholic, being a drug addict, none of those things really will ever help you, right? In fact, all they're gonna do is not just keep you where you are, but it will take you even further bottom of where you're not supposed to be. You're already at the bottom, then you're drinking your way. You can't drink your way out. You can't smoke your way out, as in drugs. You can't be with women the whole time, right? That will only further your decline. That's what will happen. So at the end of the day, right, you have to make sure that you are right. You have your mind right. Get yourself right. Get your skills up, right? Continue with your skills. Whatever you're getting. This guy, keep on referring to him because he's in the motivation today. He was getting like just a few bucks a day. Hardly someone, for example, me. I could not really couldn't sustain my lifestyle. But he was able to manage that. Get very little amount of money he was getting from whatever he was doing with his skill, right? His tailoring skills. He was able to maintain that until something better came. So that's it. And as long as you're moving forward, something better will always come, right? And eventually you will move out of the pit. It's been your boy Alfred, man, for that inspirational motivation I made for today. And then until next time, I hope that was understood. Peace.